and it's contaminating everything around them. But it's clearly a meltdown. There's not a Republican I've talked to this week that you can find who's not worried about what's happening. Those numbers, double-digit deficits in swing states, is a big deal. Donald Trump in the last 2.5 weeks has turned what should be a change election for him, in which he says, I'm going to change this country where a lot of people are unhappy and make it better, into an election in which the status quo feels better. Because he keeps saying things that make people nervous. And before he can make his arguments, which are compelling, we know from before the conventions they were compelling, we know from the primaries they're compelling about trade, about manufacturing jobs, about globalism, about Hillary Clinton's record. He has to be able to demonstrate that he can handle the job of president. And at the moment, he still feels like he can campaign like he did in the primaries, which is to be throwing bombs, making jokes, saying outlandish things that have a sort of viral effect in the media to get his message out. And he's found over the last week that it's really entertaining.
So let's talk about the conventional piece. Dan, for instance, it's not unconventional for a candidate to take advantage of resentment and people feeling like things have been taken away from them. And certainly that's what Donald Trump is doing.
No, that's right. I mean, Michael's absolutely right. I mean, there is an environment out there that argues for change. And we're at the end of 2 terms of a Democratic president. Usually you get to that period. It's difficult for that party to hold the White House a third consecutive time. We know there is a lot of unhappiness. We know that the recovery has been quite unequal in its distribution of benefits. We know there's resentment about the political system. All of that is out there for Donald Trump to make the argument. But he keeps making the campaign about himself rather than those other issues, and the degree to which it becomes a referendum on Donald Trump, he's put at a disadvantage.
And Molly, it's not unusual for a candidate like Hillary Clinton did to get a post-convention bounce, and it's only August. You don't know how firm that bounce is, enduring that bounce is.
Well, I think what Republicans,
as Michael said, are beginning to fear is that it's more than a bounce, and that this is the new normal, because Trump got a very small bounce out of his convention. It was immediately erased by the Democratic convention, and all he's done since then is exacerbate the lines of it. Think about the back-to-back convention messaging. The week before Donald Trump's convention, there's a massive terrorist attack in France. There's been this drumbeat of shootings and attacks both abroad and on our shores that plays into his message. And it's his fault. And his whole message is, look at how scary the world is. There's crime to be afraid of. There's terrorism to be afraid of. The following week, Hillary Clinton comes on stage and says there's something even scarier than that. There's Donald Trump. And the way that Trump has behaved ever since, his erratic pronouncements, his inability to back off of any controversial statement, has only underscored her message in a way that I think perpetuates the impressions that people took away from that Democratic convention.
And does that message, Jackie, also allow Hillary Clinton to make a run at some of these Republicans who are nervous, or, as Susan Collins said, she still isn't supporting Hillary Clinton, but she just can't support him?
Well, definitely allows her to make a run at them, and you see, in terms of conventional, unconventional, they both gave